It is the day after Wednesday, my dudes, and well past time for an old man yapping. I was busy yesterday. I was, I should have been working on the code for my game and the graphics for my game and the music and sound effects and other stuff for my game, but instead I was playing a buttload of Starfield because those are my priorities. And I have been playing the game for a long time. I have over 2,500 hours in it. I think I'm closing up on 2,600. Actually, a quick look at Steam tells me it's 2,550. That's a lot, but I've got 77 days plus in this one save file. And if you look in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you'll notice there's no skill progression displayed. Because there's no more skill progression. I've got them all. I've got all of the skills. Every single one of them is maxed out. They're all maxed across all 5 of the skill areas. You can see down there it says skill maxed out for everything. Everything's maxed out. I've maxed them all. I've got the whole damn thing. Every single skill. All 82 skills. 328 skills. All maxed out. Every single one of them. And now I've got these skill points. I've got 11 skill points that I'm never going to fucking spend because there's nothing to spend them on. I have all the skills. I'm level 333. I'm almost level 334. This is fucking awesome. And one of the things that I've been wondering over the course of this is what exactly is it about Starfield, other than Huang Le, who, I mean, just look at her. She's adorable. She's so cute. Look at her. But what really is it about Starfield that keeps me coming back to this game and playing it and doing stuff?
Got any more credits to spare?
Oh, got any more credits? Yeah, sure. Here, have some credits.
You're a real... Thanks again for the creds.
There we go. That's very important. It's very important to continue funding Huang Le's panhandling habit. One of the things that strikes me about the underbelly of Neon is I'm constantly thinking about what would it smell like down here? Because, I mean, look at this. There are these hanging nets full of fish. And fish guts. And over here is a chasm bass just hanging there. There are 2 elevators. Never noticed that. I always use the one right next to this chasm bass right here. But yeah. The thing about Starfield that makes me keep playing it, I don't know what it is. And I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about what makes games replayable. What makes games something that you want to keep playing and that you want to keep going back to over and over and over again. Because obviously I want that with my own game. I want people to come back to the game and go, oh yeah, this game was fun. I want to do more with it. And it's a slightly different situation because we're not dealing with an open world RPG. But the question of why do people come back to the game is always an important one. Because you've got kind of 3 hurdles to get over with any game that isn't free to play. And the first one is, how do you convince people to spend money on your game? Okay, how do you convince them that this game is going to be something they should pay whatever the price of your game is to play it? And the second hurdle you have to get over is once you get somebody's money for playing your game, how do you keep them playing it for 2 complete hours and leave them happy enough that that through that whole 2 hours they never go, nah, I just want my money back, because of Steam's refund policy. And I like Steam's refund policy. I think it's great. I'm glad they have it. So that's the next thing. You have to keep them happy for 2 hours. You have to keep them enjoying the game for 2 hours of gameplay. And then after that 2 hours of gameplay, you still have to keep them happy and coming back to your game. You have to keep them coming back to your game and playing it and playing it and playing it, because you want them to leave a good review. At some point in their gameplay, they're going to leave a review, and you want that review to be a good one. So you want them to still be going back and playing your game, not bored with it and feeling like they've done everything. And you want them to still be enjoying the game and want to say, yeah, this is a good game and you should buy it. And of course, you've got other things like before the game is even released, you got to try and get people to put it on their wish list, and you got to try and get Steam to push it out there in the visibility rounds. There's all of this shit that you got to do. But the one that really deals with the design and building of the game is, how do you make the game something that people enjoy and that is replayable? And for my particular game, the key is to have a buttload of shit to unlock. And that's kind of, that's what keeps me coming back to Vampire Survivors over and over again, is all the shit there is to unlock. Like, honestly, one of the big reasons that I keep coming back to Starfield at the moment is because if you look at my installed creations, all the way down at the bottom, well, all the way down at the bottom is my test plugin from me messing with the Starfield creation kit. But just above that is this high-level weapons mod, and it adds 50 new legendary weapons to Starfield. And it has 50 new weapons, and there are these books that have little clues in them that tell you, basically where you can go to find the weapons. And I've only found a couple of these, so I've got this kind of gotta catch 'em all Pokemon thing going on with the high-level weapons creation. And that's kind of kept me engaged and continuing to play Starfield. But at the same time, I don't really care. The clues aren't that interesting. They feel like dumb riddles. And it's like, oh, this thing is out there, and here's this cryptic clue to where you can find it. Well, I'm sure that clue will make sense when I find one and go, oh, that's what that means. But for the moment, it doesn't mean shit. I don't understand it. It's like the girl in the red dress. Well, that's probably May from the Red Mile. But what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to, attack people at the Red Mile and kill a bunch of ecliptic mercenaries? That doesn't seem like a good idea. And stuff like that is just frustrating and annoying. So what I'm doing instead is I'm just kind of wandering around exploring, and whatever I find, I find. I'm just not that concerned. But collecting something in a given playthrough, that's always an achievement. And in the current playthrough, I'm on 19? I think I'm on 19 of this. I flip over here and come in and take a look at the ships. And yeah, I'm on New Game Plus 19. This is my 19th time through the Unity. And I've also just wrapped up the Ryujin quest line. So I've got a bunch of quests that I'm doing and a bunch of stuff that I'm trying to accomplish, but no particular thing that jumps out and makes me go, no, I have to do this thing right now. It's a playground now. It's a sandbox. It doesn't matter what I do because there's nothing I need to do. I've done all the things. I've done literally all of the things. There's nothing more for me to do. So if I feel like doing one of the things that's in there, then great. And if I don't feel like doing it, I don't have to. I've already done it. Who fucking cares, you know? And that's an interesting dynamic that I don't know how to get to, because in a horde survival game, the checklist will lead you through it. Like, to start off with, everybody's going to want to unlock all of the characters, which involves unlocking all of the levels, which involves unlocking all of the weapons. Because the idea here is every time you complete this level with this character and this weapon, you unlock the next level with the next character and the next weapon. And regardless of which one you care about, the next level is going to have a new collection, and that's what you have to use to beat it. So you have to learn to use each weapon all the way through. And then there's the question of how I'm going to do weapon evolutions and item evolutions, whether I'm even going to have items and item evolutions. All of that comes into play. God, my sinuses are killing me. It's probably being out there in the cold and the wet installing that fence yesterday. But regardless, that's kind of the thing that I keep coming back to is once you've unlocked everything and you've found everything and you've got all the achievements and you've done all the quests, what keeps you coming back to a title? What makes the title fun to continue playing? I don't really have a good answer to that. I'm still kind of thinking about it, but that's one of the reasons that I play apparently unrelated games, is to try and kind of go through and say, what interests me about this? Why do I want to continue playing it? And one of the questions that comes up is like, there are a couple of games, like there's Soulstone Survivors is one that I immediately think of. There are a number of horde survival games in my collection that I lost interest in at some point. Like, let's see, was it? No, it was Project Lazarus. Project Lazarus was just crappy. I didn't feel like I was getting farther in the game with every run. I felt like I'd start a given run and I wouldn't get very far, and then I'd try again and I would get to about the same place, and I didn't understand why I wasn't getting any farther. So that was frustrating, and I don't know, maybe I just don't know how to play the fucking game. But Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde, that was another one. Soulstone Survivors, Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde, and Spellbook Demon Slayers. I kind of lost interest in all three of those, because while there was a checklist of stuff to do, and there was a list of things that I could fill out and finish, I didn't feel like there was going to be a payoff for finishing it. There was no, like, reward or prize at the end. Like, I think in Spellbook Demon Slayers, I have most of the achievements. Yeah, I've got 90 out of 100 achievements on that. And if I look all the way down to the bottom, then there's 3, 6, 8. Yeah, there are there are 8 achievements that are the least common achievements in the game, and then there's 2 others just kind of tossed in there. One of them is movement speed, and one of them is reaching level 100 with a spell book. And I'm just like, I don't care. I don't actually feel like... I don't think achieving these things is going to matter to me. It just feels like... It feels like they're achievements that exist to exist, and not because the achievement is something that you would be proud of or that you would think was worth doing. Like getting to a movement speed of 420%. Number one, it's a weed reference, and grow the fuck up. And number two, why do I want to move at 5 times speed? Why would I want to do that? That gives me an additional problem that every time I move, I'm crossing half the screen. That doesn't make the game better. I mean, achievements that make the game less fun don't feel like they should be achievements, you know? Do this thing, and then the game will become shitty and hard to play. Oh boy! Like, why would I want to do that? That doesn't make sense. And I know there are a bunch of people that are going to go, well, there are good reasons that you might want to do that. Yeah, I get it. I understand challenges. I do weird shit too. Like I have this Starborn Guardian ship, and I frequently just like if you check, there's this one part of the Ryujin missions where you have to get information from somebody, and he says, hey, you need to go take out this opponent of mine, and they have a ship, and their ship's a piece of garbage. I mean, you look at like their shield is crap, and they've got missiles and ballistics and lasers, but it's not very good. The ship's only worth like 15,000. Like, I've got the Razor Leaf, and I've got the Frontier, and the Frontier's cheaper, but it has better weapons. Like, that's 142 total, and this is 160 total. And you compare that to the Starborn Guardian, which is just like a much better ship. And it's like, you know, why did I even steal this ship? Why do I even have it? I don't fucking know. I don't know why I bothered picking that up. But I do stuff like that. I just like collect ships that have no particular purpose. Because, you know, you grab the thing, and it's kind of a trophy for the thing that you did. Like, having the Datura proves that I did the Ryujin missions, I guess. To nobody, because it's a single-player game. It's just like, I've got it in there. And the big question is how do I give this kind of perpetual replayability to a game? And I think that there has to be this kind of infinite supply of stuff to do in any given level. And I'm not sure how exactly to do that in a Horde survival game. I've never seen a Horde survival game that has this. Everything that I see is like, to get people interested in playing it again, you have to release a DLC. You have to create new levels. It's like Vampire Survivors, which of course is the big name in the Horde survival genre. It has to drop new DLCs and new levels to get people interested in going back to it. It has to produce new achievements. But how would I do something where it doesn't need new achievements or new levels, where there's actually stuff in the levels for people to do? And I'm not entirely sure how to do that. I have some ideas, and one of the ideas that I was thinking about was it's not really useful to have a quest system like an RPG in a horde survival game, but it would be interesting if there was a similar kind of mechanic. Like if there were multi-stage events that you could trigger. Just events you can trigger in general is interesting. There are a number of levels in Vampire Survivors where if you step on this thing on the floor, it triggers an attack. There are a number of other things where, like, you pull the lever and a minecart comes through. And these kind of events, I think, give you interesting options. And I don't know, I think I need to build an event system of some sort, but what kind of event system would actually inspire this kind of replayability in a horde survival game? It's an interesting question, and it's something that I'm going to be playing with, because I want to do something that makes the characters different. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. The weapons, weapon evolutions, stuff like that. Maybe different character progression. Maybe some characters have, I don't know. Do I want special abilities in this? I don't know. I mean, the core inspiration for my game wasn't actually Vampire Survivors. It was HoloCure, which has the strafing button, and it has the strafing button. It has special features, and it has a gacha for outfits and characters. I don't want to do a gacha. I do think that I want to do multiple outfits, but I want the outfits to unlock for levels. Like, if you complete this level with this character, then you get the outfit for that level for that character. I think that would be a good progression model. But I don't know if I want to give the characters special abilities, because personally I don't really use those abilities, and I don't know whether they're valuable to people. HoloCure actually makes you buy that. It makes you buy that as an upgrade. Huh. What if your special ability was limited in the number of uses? Like, you can use it X number of times in a level. So you have like a stat that has 5 or 10 points in it. And by putting points into that stat, you can use a special ability more times in a given level. Or in any level, really. I don't want to make you buy it over and over again for every level. Wait a minute. What about upgradable levels? That's a thought. What if, in addition to upgrading your characters, you could also upgrade levels? Do I want a single character skill tree and a single level skill tree? Or do I want multiple character skill trees and multiple level skill trees? I don't know. I'm not sure. Should the weapons have skill trees? I'm still working a lot of stuff out. Anyway, I'm just talking to myself at this point, but that's the problem that I'm working with right now. Is I'm sitting here going, what sets the game apart? What makes the game worth playing over and over and over again? I think it's fairly simple to make a game that people will go, "Ooh, yeah, I want to play that," and give you a few bucks, and then they'll play it for 2 hours and go, "Oh man, now I can't get my money back." But the real question is, how do you make it a game that they pay their money for and they play it for 2 hours and then they keep playing it, and when they finally get around to the point where they go, "I should write a review for this," they go, "This game fucking rocks"? That is the $64,000 question. I don't think there's a generic answer to it. I think the important thing is you need to ask the question about your game, and you need to come up with an answer that fits your game so that your game actually is good. And the most important thing that I want to kind of spotlight here is this question has absolutely nothing to do with how much money you make, but it will affect it. Because fundamentally, the amount of money you make from selling your game is limited by how good the game is. If your game is shit, nobody's going to fucking buy it. And you can make a game that pulls in a bunch of money, but everybody reviews it and goes, "This game is garbage," and then the money stops coming in. If you build the game with an eye to making it good and keeping it good, I think the best marketing for your game, the best possible marketing you can get, like automatic word of mouth, is when you look on Discord or you look on Steam and one of your friends is playing this game. I think that's critical. That's the most important way to market your game, is for other people to see their friends playing it. A lot. And to get that marketing, you have to make a game that people want to keep playing, that people want to play and continue to play and play over and over and over again for an extended period of time. You can't chase trends, you can't chase fads, because those disappear, those go away. You have to make a good game. That's the important part. So you have to ask that question of, why doesn't my game suck? And you have to answer that question. You have to make the game that doesn't suck. You have to make the game that actually people want to play. And I think a key element of that is to break the game apart into individual pieces and say, how do I make this individual piece a whole lot of fucking fun? It has to be fun to move your character. It has to be fun to hit the enemy. It has to be fun to run from the enemy. It has to be fun to fight with the enemy. It has to be fun just to control your character, just to move around the levels. There should be secrets and little caches around the level. There should be just artistic things in the level that are fun to go look at and go, "Oh man, check that out. Hey, did you know if you go in this direction for this long, you'll find a thing? Wow, really? I should go do that." It's important to do that. And you say, how do I make the level fun? How do I make the weapon fun? How do I make the character fun? How do I make the enemy fun? How do I make progression fun? How do I make the achievements fun? And if you answer that about every single piece, you don't have to make any individual piece a lot of fun, because if you just put moderate amounts of fun all into the same place, you got a big fucking bucket of fun. And I think that really does apply to Starfield, because Starfield does not have anything in it that makes me go, oh, fuck yeah. It just has like an absolute fuck ton of stuff that makes me go, all right, man, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that again. I'll do that again. I'll do this other thing again. I never really go into Starfield and go, man, I can't wait to survey a planet. But when I survey a planet, I go, I may as well kick on the scanner so I can see what's around here. Oh, well, I'll scan that, and I'll scan that, and I'll scan that. Oh, look, I'll scan that, I'll scan that. Well, look at this. Now I'm like 40% scanned. I may as well finish scanning the planet. Like, why not? You know, why not get the survey data? But it's not something that I land and go, yeah, that'd be a great thing. I never go, hey, I want to explore this planet and find out what stuff is around on it. But I'll land on a planet. I'll go, there's a planet over here. There's probably some shit on here. I'll land here. Ooh, look, there's a Muybridge Pharmaceuticals lab over there. It's the exact same floor plan as every other Muybridge Pharmaceuticals lab, so I may as well have landed on any other planet that has one and gone to it. But, I mean, that's that's how corporate and government buildings are. Like, if you go to a military facility in New Mexico, and then you go to a similar military facility in Georgia, they're the fucking same. They're the same goddamn thing. There's hardly any difference. So, yeah, that's just the way things are when you have, like, corporate crap. If you work at a Microsoft office, if you work at any location within Microsoft and you go to another building, I mean, the building's a little different, but everything feels the same. It's like when you work at Amazon, you go from one building to another at Amazon, they feel the same. You know, the Red West campus is very much like the Red North campus. They're, well, that's Microsoft again, not Amazon, in case people are like scratching their head and going, Amazon has a red campus? No. Microsoft has a Red West and a Red North. And those are Redmond, west of Redmond, north of Redmond. But, yeah, the buildings do just like naturally tend to look alike. So that's realism. It's not realism that you go to the abandoned cryolab and the dead scientist hanging out of the hatch on the ceiling is always in the same place and always has the key card. That's not realistic. That's a little immersion breaking. But it's kind of excusable because I don't demand that everything be an incredible amount of fun. It's just a moderate amount of fun. Exploring a facility in Starfield is a moderate amount of fun. It's not more fun than you can stand. It's not a party in a can. But I like Juki. But it's a moderate amount of fun. It's mildly enjoyable. And Starfield has so much mildly enjoyable that that whenever I fire it up, I can find mildly enjoyable things to do. That's probably a lot easier than trying to make something that's mind-blowing. Like the Shattered Space DLC, I expected huge revelations. Didn't get any. Didn't actually get a whole lot out of that. It was mildly enjoyable, and the climax is kind of cool. It is, it does kind of end with something akin to a boss fight, and I don't like boss fights. It's like you get to the end of it, and it's like, pull the switch, destroy the weak spot, go to the next switch. And that's a boss battle. That's a boss battle. Run to the switch, kill everything that's keeping you from getting to the switch, hit the switch, and then find the weak spot that just opened up and shoot it. And you got to do that like 6 times. I don't like that stuff. I don't think it's particularly fun. But there's not too much of it. The game's not full of it. Most of the stuff in the game is mildly fun, and the stuff that's not fun is widely separated enough that it doesn't bother me too much. It's kind of like a corporate consensus video game. Everything in it is like, it's okay. It's not great, it's okay. Kind of like Windows. Kind of like every Microsoft product. It's designed around the fundamental concept of get the job done moderately well and reliably. Because people care about reliable. Huh. Anyway, I've been yapping for over half an hour, and I'm out of coffee. So I'm going to go ahead and bail on this. I hope you found some of this useful. And do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. And if you have a take on what makes games infinitely replayable, feel free to drop it in the comments and I'll argue with you, especially if you're dumb. If your idea is dumb, I'll tell you it's dumb. Well, that's a great sales point. Yeah, but seriously, that's absolutely what will happen. If you say something dumb, I'll tell you it's fucking dumb. But yeah, I'm trying to look for the smart people in my community. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, bye.